I'm going to keep saying it until my face is as blue as my hat. Asexual and aromantic people are a part of the LGBTQIA 2S+ community and belong at Pride.
And on this journey, one more love unraveled. I finally learned to love me for me.
You know the expression, the call is coming from inside the house? I've gotten a couple of those types of calls this past week, and yeah, they're not good. See, there's obviously queerphobia, and there's a lot of queerphobic people out there, but when it comes from someone in the LGBTQIA 2S+ community themselves at me or at anyone who is a part of that same community but a different orientation than them, it's so messed up. We are all fighting similar fights. We can do this together strongly. But some of y'all just don't want people in your community if you can't understand them and you don't have the capability of asking questions and listening to them and learning about them. Here's the secret. You can be a bigot even if you are part of a community that is targeted by other bigots. You can be a bigot inside that same community and still identify with other parts of that community. So why am I talking about this? Why am I so fired up right now? I'll tell you why. Here's the first of these comments that I just got this past week. This person said, and I'd already deleted it, everyone was fine before 2014. LGB were happy until you lot started adding never-ending labels, terms, and fake pronouns. As a real G-man, had to censor myself here because every time real G-men like me speak out, you lot pretend we don't exist. Hey buddy, I see you. I'm not pretending you don't exist, but I am gonna have some words for you. First off, I can't help but notice you stopped at LGB. You know, never mind the fact that I've already talked about this in many videos, that the first bricks at Stonewall were thrown by trans women of color. Yeah. So you're just going to ignore all that and ignore that trans people have always been a part of your community. And for now, yes, I am using the word your, because technically speaking, the asexual community didn't begin to thrive until later. Doesn't mean that we weren't around. Doesn't mean that we didn't exist either, because the word asexual, as pertains to a sexuality of humans, dates back to the late 1800s. Did you know that? I knew that. Did you know that? You probably didn't, because you probably haven't listened to any of us. Because you seem to think that everything was a fairy tale in 2014. You forget that it wasn't a fairy tale. It still isn't a fairy tale. Where do you think the hatred is going to go when suddenly the people that agree with you about asexuality and aromanticism and trans people, and it's everything after the B in your acronym as you used it, where do you think they're going to go when they feel like those people aren't problems anymore? You think you're all just going to be buddy-buddy and everything's going to be great? No. They're not going to be buddy-buddy with you. I'm sorry to say it. It's kind of mind-boggling to me that people within the LGBTQIA 2S+ community still have all this internal hatred towards other people whose groups maybe weren't as well known earlier on. And they suddenly think that they're new. Not new. We've always existed. Maybe our terms are getting a little more recognized nowadays. But we should be celebrating that, not persecuting people for it. Not turning on each other. Like, what are you doing, man? You are abandoning the sentiment of everything that Stonewall and everything after it has stood for. It makes me sad for you. That wasn't even the worst of it. Someone actually went to my website, to fluentlyAspec.com, to go to the contact me page to send me an email. The subject was no such thing as asexual, etc. This one says, as a gay man, I'm sick of why you people are doing, I'm going to read the grammar errors, why you people are doing. All these labels are making things worse if you don't have to. Sorry, I got to stop. This is why I teach grammar. This is why I'm an English teacher, because this is all one sentence, by the way. They don't have a period until the very end. Why are you writing an email like this, buddy? Let's start over. As a gay man, I'm sick of why you people are doing. All these labels are making things worse. If you don't want to have relationships or sex, fine, that's not a problem, but you are not a part of gay rights. Same-sex attraction. Homosexuality has nothing to do with all these made-up A labels. Stop what you are doing. This is madness. Period. One of the first things I noticed about this email, besides that horrific grammar, is the word want. You don't want a relationship or sex. See, this to me is right away a red flag that you don't know what aromanticism or asexuality actually mean or what they are. And you haven't taken the time to ask anyone, because they would tell you. You can still have sex and be asexual. You can still have a relationship and be aromantic. It's not about the action. The attraction is the key part that we all talk about. Maybe some people, they intrinsically connect their relationships or their desire to have sex as part of their identity, and that's perfectly fine for them. But you're missing out on just what asexuality and aromanticism actually mean entirely. So you're just making assumptions of what you think it means without actually asking someone who's actually had those experiences. So I'm here to tell you, your assumptions are wrong. What you think you know about people who are aromantic or asexual are wrong. And it surprises me that you would use the word want, as you yourself say you are, as you put it, a G-man. Because you should know that orientation isn't about want. It's about existing. It's not about choice. It's not about preference. Do you get offended when people call your orientation a preference? Because that's what you just did to every asexual and aromantic person. Think about that. What do you mean it has nothing to do with attraction? Like, okay, let's talk about the word queer and what it means. It means going against the norm of the sense of heterosexual attraction. Because that is considered the norm by most people, right? Not normal in the sense that it's a normal human characteristic, but the norm, the expected norm. So if that's the norm and homosexuality is queer, how is asexuality not? Explain that to me. You're still not attracted to the opposite binary gender. It's still not the norm. Like bisexual people and pansexual people who are attracted to two genders or more than two genders. If we think about it like a chart, Like maybe we have an X and a Y axis, you know? Okay, so maybe we put positive, positive here. That's bisexual and pansexual people, right? Okay, maybe positive, negative. Maybe the positive is heterosexual. So heterosexual people go here. Okay. Maybe we do the other positive, negative over here. Okay, maybe this positive is now homosexuality. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What's the 0, 0? What's below 0, 0? That's asexuality. Attracted to no one. Yeah, this isn't my normal tone. Normally I'm much more upbeat, right? But I draw a line at bigotry. I draw a line at people telling me that asexual people don't belong. I draw a line at someone telling me to stop educating folks about asexuality and aromanticism because it's madness. What's madness was me going through life, not having those words, and thinking I was broken because no one would talk to me about them. What's madness was the pain and suffering that I went through, that other people go through because they don't have those words, because they don't understand them, because no one talks about them. And what's madness is somebody going to my website, to go to my contact me page, to write a poorly structured email because they're upset at my existence and somehow think that my existence makes theirs harder, despite the fact that they're also a part of a community that has been through that. That's madness. These two commenters, this commenter and emailer, if you see this video, I hope you're ashamed of yourself, because you let down so many people like you. There's plenty of people who want this community to be together, especially right now. You're really going to go against that? You're really going to dig your hooves in right now, or at any point for that matter, and decide that you dictate who belongs and who doesn't? That's what you're going to do. Talk about narrow-mindedness and a lack of empathy. I'm sorry for you two. I'm sorry that you have been treated poorly. So instead of actually looking at other communities as, I don't want them to feel how I felt, you know, the way that I do, the whole reason that this channel exists, you instead decide to tear other people down who you don't understand. Be better. And if you're not, then 1 is going to be a very lonely number for you. And like I said, if people feel that they have done enough to asexual people, to aromantic people, to trans people, you know where they're going next. And that's your doing. You're a part of that. So hey, that's enough about them. Let's talk about us. How are you doing today? How are things going for you? What's something that you did in the past week that you're really excited about, that you want to share with this community? Let me know in this week's comment prompt. And to any aro people or ace people or trans person or anywhere in the community, if you identify with those words, if you feel that you want to learn more about yourself, if you're still questioning about yourself, but you're sitting here and you're wondering if you belong here, you do. You belong here. But there's etiquette here. We treat each other with kindness and respect, and we respect everybody's identity. And if we don't ask questions, we're never going to learn. So we ask kind questions. We learn. That's what we do. Because there was certainly a time where we were all misunderstood. We all wished somebody had asked us questions. Kind questions. So that's what we're going to do. But don't ever let someone tell you that you don't belong. You should be proud of who you are. You should be proud of how far you've come and the journey that you've made. You deserve that. And you deserve to know that I'm proud of you too. And I invite anyone who wants to learn and wants to ask these questions to read my book, Limitless, Poetry of an Aromantic and Asexual Journey. It's available right now, and you can learn how to order it by looking in the description below or going to my website, fluentlyAspec.com. And you can also check out my merch. I just dropped some really great shirts that I'm really proud of that are a little more subtle for aromantic, asexual, and aro-ace folks. So go check those out. All of that helps support this channel and keep everything that I do going. Because I'm not going to be silenced. I'm not going anywhere. No matter what someone else tells me what to do. And if this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, share it out, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. We did just hit 8,000 subscribers here on Fluently Aspec, and I'm really excited that all of these people have come together, and this community is fantastic. I am so excited to see this continue to grow and to spread this message and to help other people find their words too. As always, be good to each other and to yourselves. I'll see you in the next one.